Mount Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here today with block 12 of the New York Beauty in a New York Beauty Minute sew along. I'm making a baby quilt, so this is going to be our last block. Next week we'll have how I sew the blocks together, and the week after that we'll be putting on a border with all the scraps I've created. So we're going to have some fun putting this charity baby quilt together. So this is all, it's green, purples, and oranges that I'm using. We're just having a lot of fun with it. But first, let's get to our shout out before I forget. Lynn at Soft Squares Quilting is on our radar this week, and you guys know the drill. Go give her some love, go give her some encouragement, go check her out, hit that subscribe button if you like what you see over there, and tell her that Brenda from Conquering Mount Scrapmore sent you over there. We're just having so much fun doing all these shout outs, and it's great that people are sending me shout outs. Now, we do have a long list of shout outs, so don't be discouraged. Keep sending them to me, and we'll just add them onto the list. So, now, our next big sew along is going to be Twinkle Twinkle, and that happens after Quilt Bingo. There's about, like, I want 3 or 4 videos in between Quilt Bingo and Twinkle Twinkle, but the clue is save your strings. Now, oh, I'm catching something. I spent too much time with my grandkids. Now, if you are anti-string or you don't like strings or you give your strings away, you can just cut pieces and sew them together too, and you'll have a fun, beautiful quilt as well. Also, Mini Monday is coming back after the New York Beauty block quilts are finished, so don't forget those Mini Mondays. We're coming back with some changes. The Free Pattern Friday is all 12.5-inch unfinished quilt blocks. The Mini Mondays are going to be smaller, so you'll learn stuff about small piecing, and you'll learn about like foundation paper piecing, some English paper piecing maybe too, you know, some applique. It's going to be fun, but it's coming back with some fun changes, and we will be working on smaller blocks. Because sometimes those smaller blocks are best for your scraps, because you can only cut, you know, big pieces for so long, then you got to figure out what to do with all the little stuff. So, also, we're Zoom sew dates for Saturday of the month, and we are doing that from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, because I'm in Alberta, Canada, and we have so much fun on those sew dates. And if you just want to come hang out and you've got your knitting to do, bring it. We're all inclusive. We have a great time in there. Making comments, sharing, liking, subscribing, hitting that thumbs up, hitting that bell so you don't miss contact, all helps our analytics and pushes our video forward so we can continue bringing you fun, free patterns. We got to get the word out that this channel has free patterns, right? So this is going to be a lot of fun for us too. Also, we have a Facebook group, and our virtual sewing room is hosted for the Facebook group members by Discord. And we have, it's basically opens 24/7, so you have a sew date every day of the week if you want it. We have lots and lots of community chats. Plus, we do all the same regular things that Facebook groups do. We also, excuse me, we have fabric exchanges by country to keep the cost of the postage down. Also, I speak for free, and I have a second speaking engagement we're getting ready for December of 2025. So if you have booked me in the past, please rebook me. I'll talk. My topics are going to be, of course, about scrap fabrics, because that's what I like working with. And remember, I speak for free. You can get a hold of me by email, which is under the About tab, or message me through Facebook. And I'm a lot faster through Facebook than I am with email. Also, if you guys have shout outs and you see a quilting channel that's you know, just brand new, or, you know, kind of like having a lot of fun, please send them to me. Like, don't tell them you're sending them to me, but, you know, send them to me and I'll add them to the list. It's a long list, and we film out quite a, right now it's August 18th and we're filmed out to October. So that gives you an idea how long they might have to wait, but don't tell them that it's coming. And I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. So come on in, let's get to the sewing. Okay, we are at the sewing machine, and you're going to need a paper scissor, of course, to cut your pattern out. Fabric scissors, because you've got some pieces that you have to like cut just like you would a blouse when you're making clothes or something. So you've got, you know, a fabric scissor for that. So I'm just going to move those pieces out of the way. And tape is your friend, so keep that very close at hand. I marked my pattern pieces with my tracing wheel, and this, I don't know if you can see that. Let me see if I can get a shadow, so you can kind of see where you have to line them up, right? And you can also feel the little bumps I don't know if you can see that. Oh, I hope you can. Anyways, so this is what your tracing wheel does for you. So that pattern now is on both sides. And add a quarter ruler, but you could use a regular ruler if you don't have one of these. The new ones come out and they're much wider across, so they're a little safer to use, so you're not trimming that close to your fingers with your rotary cutter. It saves you from getting, you know, clipped off the end of your finger like I did. And of course they're rotary cutters. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start out, I'm just gonna move all the big stuff out of the way. Here. And you need a cutting mat. So we're just going to start, now with these pieces, they exactly have the same number of pieces, right? And one you're going to sew this way, and the other one you're going to sew that way, right? So as you're sewing them this way, your seams are going to nest. When you put this together, when you point all these points together, now I have lined them up, so the orange is here and the orange is here, purple and purple. So it'll create a little, like a crazy little four patch in the middle of this. So this is where we're going to start, and this is how we're going to do it. Now, I have just ripped my strips to the strips that I need. So I'm going to go this way, and then I'm going to go this way, right? So let's get the orange and the green lined up. And I'll just leave the purple here. There we go. Oh, I guess I could go this way. Let's do that. Okay. Green is number one. So you just want to lay this just like so, and you want to overlap like a 1/4 inch. That's it. That's all you want to overlap. There we go. We want to make sure we're just a 1/4 inch over on both sides. Slip it under. And it moved. And it moved. Story of my life. It moved. There we go. We'll just start this here. Now, in the seam allowance, oh, something went awry. Hang on. Something went wrong. Horribly wrong. Yes, it did. It went horribly wrong. I don't know what happened, but it's not working. Okay. Something got twisted. All right, let's start over. Let's start over. Something went awry. This happens. So you just undo whatever ball and knot you got in the back. And there. Now, I'm actually glad you had to start over. Okay. So now we're going to lay this back out again, nice and flat. And we're going to lay it down on the line. There we go. Now, once in the seam allowance, you go up and down the same spot for a bit, and then you just sew right across, and then you go up and down a bit again, and then you sew through. Now that's going to make little knots at both ends, but they're not going to be obvious knots, right? So that's going to help. Now I'm going to start on this end, and of course it's green and orange. There we go. And this is a much wider piece. So, here we go. Ooh, I should go this way. There. Wait a minute there. I got a 1/2 inch or good 1/4 inch. Yes, I do. Okay. And you notice I never numbered these. And that's why. Because, you know, having them numbered, I mean, sometimes will only create more confusion. So here we go. We're just going to give it a quick finger press. That's all we usually need to do. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take the green piece off first, and I'm going to go 1/4 inch past the line, the seam allowance. So I'm taking the seam allowance here, and I'm going 1/4 inch more, and that's my wiggle room. I'm going to build in some wiggle room right off the hop. Okay, so there we go. And now we're going to add purple to this, but we have to trim it. So there we go. We're just going to trim a nice, cute little piece here. And now you see what I mean about that rotary cutter being too close to your fingers? The new ones now are all much wider, right? So your fingers can be back here. So that's actually much safer and much safer to operate. Okay, so now we put the purple down, and I'm going to make sure we have good coverage. Yes, we do. There we go. Hold in the seam allowance, make your knot. There we go. All the way to the end. Up and down a bit. Then right off. There we go. There. Okay, now the first thing we're going to do is do just a quick finger press. I know you guys get like, do you ever touch your stuff with an iron? Yes, I do. I do. Yes, I actually I do very often. If I'm doing something that's going to be in competition or that's you know, going, I make sure that it's ironed precisely. There we go. And again, I've added my 1/4 inch wiggle room. So that's kind of a blessing. And now we're just going to finger press that back. We did. And we're going to fold the next line to put in the purple. Oops, the purple goes here. Just like so. There. I almost need the long one. Whoops. Hang on, I'm right on the hinge here, so I'm just gonna move my cutting off the hinge. Makes it for a little safer. And there we go. Now we're gonna spread this back like so, and we're going to sew down the purple. All right, like so. Just lay it out there. Okay. Now, there we go. Get extra little threads out of the way. There we go. There. Now I'm just gonna, there's a bunch of thread there. I'm just gonna try and get that off in a way, but apparently it's not coming willingly. Oh well. So, there we go. Okay, down. Okay, so now, with the smaller curved piece, again, you finger press this all out of the way, make it nice and flat, or as flat as you can. And now we're just gonna go with the green. Right? Get that cut just like so. Get a thin piece here. There we go. There. And I'm just going to lay that down just like that and flip it over. So you're now going to sew between the purple and the green. See, when you write them down, what you do is you actually are telling you which one goes next. And that's usually pretty helpful sometimes, you know, especially when you're doing a lot of them. If you had to do a lot of them at once, that would save you hours. just by having all of the stuff wrote out. And okay, this is what's next. This is what comes next, right? So, okay. And we have a very long piece of string or thread. Something. There we go. There, yeah. There. So the big one, the bigger curve piece, looks like it has, it looks like much larger. Ugh, come on. Come on, you could do this. No, you're not going to do it? Okay, fine. Fine. There. There we go. So, where do I want to put this? Here. The, make sure you don't slide down too far. Okay, there. There you go. Right off the edge. Okay. So I think you've got this. You've got the idea behind this now, right? So this all of a sudden becomes very simple to do because it's the same, it's pretty much the same thing we've been doing all 12 blocks, you know, and now we're just gonna keep on trim, sew, iron, repeat, right? So we're trim, we sew, we iron it or finger press it. So now, you know, what we're going to do next here, oh, we'll get rid of that. Okay. We're going to take the orange because that's what's comes up next. So we're back to the orange. So, and we're just going to continue doing this until, you know, until we're done, right? So we're going to put this, oops, get this out of the way. There we go. And what I should do is I should cut here and then meet you guys back once I have all the foundation paper piecing done. There. Because right now it's a matter of, you know, sew, trim, press, sew, trim, press, sew, trim, press, right? So, I mean, that's what we're going to be doing here for a bit. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the film now. And I'll come back when we have to start putting the arches together, because then that might help you a bit more. Okay, so I'll be back in a bit. Okay, so here we go. Okay, so this is block 12. Yes, I ironed it. Now it's laying kind of flat. So I'm just like, yahoo! I ironed it so that it goes that way. All of the seams push that way down. So it's going to lie really flat in the quilt. Now, I'm going to show you something. So all 12 blocks are done. This is the amount of scrap we have created. So some of you are sitting there going, that's a lot of scrap. Yes, it is. But I could do, like when we're doing webbing, I could show you how we're going to do like sashing and cornerstones. I could show you how to do that. We could use up a lot of this in the border, you know, by doing extra large piano keys, or, you know, doing some kind of, like, we do a couple of borders, right? I mean, really, we have all sorts of fun lined up here. So that's okay. We do have some larger pieces in here that would be perfect for, let's say, another border, because this is a really big piece, right? So I found in my stash that we used in the quilt. So that should be fun. And we have kittens, and they're both rattling on the door, so I hope you don't mind them. They're going, Mommy, let us in, let us in. So yeah, we have lots of fun with this kind of thing. And, you know, like I say, we can do, you know, cornerstones and borders or sashing pieces with it. You do all sorts of fun stuff. The kittens are really like, get kittens, he said. They'll be fun, he said. we're kind of like, oh. But anyways, I hope you have an amazing week. So come back next Monday to see what I do with the how we put this quilt together, and it's going to be fun. Don't worry about it. It's a baby quilt, and babies do not have the Angry Baby Coalition against ugly quilts. So you guys take care and stay well until we see each other again. And yeah, I hope everything is going great for you in your life and in your sewing room. Okay, bye. Wow, those kittens are... I'm going to take these papers off and move them out of the way. You can see we have 4 arches, or 3 arches and a quarter square. So we're going to do the hardest one first. The hardest one is always going to be the shorter, the tighter curve, right? So what we're going to do is just line this baby up. And we have that coming right at the pinnacle of there. And we are going to pin that right there. I do prefer, part of me prefers the pin method. I just find it so much easier in some respects than the porcupine method. Sometimes is much easier. And you know, there's no arguing about where it is or, you know, anything else like that. I need to go down just like 3 stitches. There we go. 3 pieces of thread. Now, there we go. There. I'm just going to press in other little points with my finger, and those are going to be folded up right there, just like so. I'm going to get that side. See, all I'm doing now is I'm pressing to the quarter, and I'm just making a little divot indent on the fabric so I know where that is. Okay, so now I'm going to line up my quarters, and the quarter is there, and the quarter is here. I'm on the line. Yes, I am. Ha ha ha. Perfect. Now, you're almost better off at this point trying to line up that corner right away, too. Because you might as well try and line it up. Line it up the best you can. There we go. And I've got wiggle room on both sides. All right, so it's not going to be impossible to line this all up. Oops. And of course, when I lined it up, I didn't hit the paper. Okay. Well, we'll try it again. This time we try to aim for the paper. There we go. And aim for this paper. There. There we go. And get the other side. There we go. Just take a little bite of fabric. Not too much. You don't want too much disappearing. And now we're going to get the last little divot matched up. Okay, there. Am I? Yep, I'm right on that 1/4 inch line. So we can spin it. Just like that. That's what that's going to look like. Now the reason this looks so difficult is there's so many points, right? So it's like kind of, it might be a little tough to maneuver even. So, well, let's get it under the needle and see where we're at, right? I mean, the other methods are like, you could baste it, you could do this, you could do that with it. I hand roll up to the pin, and then I pull the pin. And I try and do just a 1/4 inch. Take your time. And, oops, there we go. Okay. There we go. Come on. Yeah. get this to work perfectly. That would be nice. I can feel the back paper breaking. This is not good. Oh well, we'll see what we can do. We'll make this happen. There. Thump goes the door. There. Now, pull that out. Let's see where we are with our points. Because that's, if we have made our points, but the back is a mess, that's okay. As long as we've made our points. Because remember, we've got wiggle room. So I'm going to push this in to the circle, right? So all the seam is going that way, right? And wow, is what a mess that is in the back. Oh well, it'll quilt out. Okay, so what happened is I wobbled too much, and I'm not even anywhere close to that line, but I'm going to leave it because it looks smooth on the front. And by the time it's quilted, nobody's going to notice, right? Now, the next hard bit is going to be lining up all this stuff. Now, this stuff will nest, right, as we go through. So let's start getting this. So we're going to line this up first. And one seam is going one way and the other seam is going other way. So it's a perfect little nest. Okay. There. Oh dear. Okay. Yeah, there's some part of me. Now there's people that are wondering why I'm not taking the paper off. And what happens is that seam will distort, right? Everything stretches. And sometimes you end up with a mess. Just a horrible, horrible mess. Okay, now we're going to do point to point. So we want to put the point in here. And the point right here. You want these points to match perfectly. And when they do, there we go. Here. And again, yeah, this point to point. This is actually the hardest one of the lot because there is so many seams to match up. Oops, I'm too far. Over. There we go. Yes, it's perfect. Yay, it's perfect. Now when we do the webbing, this is going to be our next, webbing the blocks together, laying them out and webbing them. I'm just picking a very simple, but I'm going to show you how to web blocks together. And I'm going to have all of the paper off when we do that. So this will be so much easier to do. And yeah, sometimes it's very tough to come up with it. See, there it is. Yeah. But you just take your time pinning, you know. When I did the first quilt, I did several blocks that were the same, and I did all the same blocks together, right? So I know that's not how you guys like to work. Maybe some of you don't like that method, but I very much liked that method because I found I could get a lot more done. But it's not a race, really. It is not a race. And some people can just whip them through. I don't know. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's my wrist is too sore or something. I don't know. But anyways. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. Just about there. Just about at the end of this. Oh my gosh. How many pins can we put into this? When you have to match points, especially on these, take your time pinning. Just take your time. Don't even, just take your time. Don't worry about it. Oh, I've got such a weird throat. I don't know if doubt if it's allergies. But it is definitely a throw thing. I think I probably spent too much time with my grandkids. But God love them. You gotta love them. Sometimes they're like little walking petri dishes. And other times, and they always want to share. Let's share with Grandma. Let's share this plague. There we go. Okay. So here we go. Now, all right. So get this under. Everything is lined up really well. So let's just get this under the machine and sew it. There. Oh, come on. Okay. Oh no, did I run out of... Oh, I ran out of... I ran out of bobbin. Did I really run out of bobbin? No, I did not. The thread broke in my bobbin. Something went awry. Oh, well, we'll put it all back together again. And of course, we pulled pins when we shouldn't have pulled pins. But at least I know. Okay, so where did it stop? Okay. Oh, right at the beginning. Oh, oh joy. Okay, now we only have a couple pins to repin. That's fine. This is real life sewing. This happens to everybody. So don't get crazy because it happened to you. Everybody goes through this. Everybody. Everybody has had to repin something after they've air sewed. You know, or after they've lost bobbin chicken. It's not just you. Okay. There, we get that out of the way. There, get that one out. There. There we go. And the last two, like we've showed you all the methods where you just free sew them. And a lot of people can do that. I have problems when I'm doing really tight ones, but tight curves. But I can do the easier curves. Some people, they swear by the basting method, and I believe I showed it to you, and that's my least favorite method. That's the least favorite one. Yep. Now, okay, so we have this thing basically will push this way, which is surprising, but everything matches. Your points are all matching along here because it's nesting, right? We did have some problems pushing the points through. It's because all the fabric is coming in that one place, right? So this is good. This so far so good. We're good. Okay, now we're just going to take this and we're just going to finger press right in the middle. And we're going to mark it with a pin. Just tiny little dent. And this is our middle. This point right here is our middle. And we're going to mark that with a pin. Now that's going to line up our our pieces. That's going to help us line up our pieces. So now, as we're doing this, this is what they call the free, doing the free one. Now I've got a 1/4 inch on either side. That's going to work out. And now we've got 2 pins. Now, as these pins get closer, you'll see they should meet. Okay? So we'll see. We'll see if this works. And if not, remember I've got a little bit of wiggle room in here. I've built it into my pattern. I've added a little bit of fabric, is what I'm trying to say. You do you. If you don't want the wiggle room, you don't have to add it in. So far we look like we're online. Okay. There we go. So you just do a few stitches, you readjust, do a few more, you readjust. Okay, get this out of the way because it's a pain. It's interfering in what we're doing. Well, we are out just a hair, but that's okay. Here, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Remember, we've got wiggle room, so we're good. Now, some people sew it the other way, where you've got this part on top. Yeah, you can do it that way. You can do it that way. You can do it any way it feels comfortable, or the way it feels and it works for you. I didn't want my feed dogs slipping on the paper, because that's what was going on. And I was just like, okay, if I do it this way, I won't have as much issue with my feed dogs. Okay, and I've got a bit of fabric. That's okay. There. Okay, so you see I have a bit of fabric here, but that's okay. When I come to square it up, I'll just trim it off. So now I'm going to push this away. And, you know, yeah, we missed our mark by about 1/4 inch, but that's okay because I have wiggle room. I can play around with this now. Okay, so there we are. Now, once the paper comes off, this is going to want to turn this way, right? Which is, I mean, that's okay. I can flip it that way too if I want. If I'm going to have it go this way, the seam, I have to clip my orange because that's creating a bit of puckering because it's not clipped. But if I move it all this way, it will fit naturally and it won't cause any problems. So we'll see what we can do. Anyways, let me get this all trimmed up for you and pressed, and we'll see what we've got. We'll get back to you in our ta-da moment. Okay, so this is block 12. Yes, I ironed it. Now it's lying kind of flat, so I'm just like, yahoo! I ironed it so that it goes that way. All of the seams push that way down, so it's going to lie really flat in the quilt. Now, I'm going to show you something. So all 12 blocks are done. This is the amount of scrap we have created. So some of you are sitting there going, that's a lot of scrap. Yes, it is. But I could do, like when we're doing webbing, I could show you how we're going to do like sashing and cornerstones. I could show you how to do that. We could use up a lot of this in the border, you know, by doing extra large piano keys, or, you know, doing some kind of, like, we could do a couple of borders, right? I mean, really, we have all sorts of fun lined up here. So that's okay. We do have some larger pieces in here that would be perfect for, let's say, another border, because this is a really big piece, right? So I found in my stash that we used in the quilt. So that should be fun. And we have kittens, and they're both rattling on the door, so I hope you don't mind them. They're going, Mommy, let us in, let us in. So yeah, we have lots of fun with this kind of thing, and you know, like I say, we can do, you know, cornerstones and borders or sashing pieces with it. You do all sorts of fun stuff. The kittens are really like, "Get kittens," he said. "They'll be fun," he said. We're kind of like, oh. But anyways, I hope you have an amazing week. So come back next Monday to see what I do with how we put this quilt together, and it's gonna be fun. Don't worry about it. It's a baby quilt, and babies do not have the Angry Baby Coalition against ugly quilts. So you guys take care and stay well until we see each other again. And yeah, I hope everything is going great for you in your life and in your sewing room. Okay, bye. Wow, those kittens are... My husband and I would like to thank you for all of your support and watching our videos and sharing and liking. It has just been, you've put us on such an amazing journey, and we are having so much fun. I hope everything is going so well in your life, and you know, your 1/4 inch is perfect. Everything is working out for you. And we're just so happy to be part of your life, and you having, like I say, you're watching us. I was just so thrilled that you're doing that. So I want to say goodbye, and I want to thank you with all my heart. Okay? Take care. Bye.